All right, we continue our team coverage of vigil at the intersection of Murray and Forbes Avenues that took place earlier tonight.
That is where Pam Surano is. We join her once again. Pam?
Yeah, good evening to you. Still the crowd extremely large here at the corner of Forbes and Murray. Behind me, if Jerome can kind of get a shot over my shoulder, this is a wonderful vantage point actually where we are above the crowd a bit, and everyone is just still here mingling with one another, talking with one another, sharing just their thoughts and their feelings. Candles are still illuminated, and there's just a lovely sentiment here of the need to be together. And I'm also joined right now by a young woman. Her name is Allison, and she is a member of this community. She is also a member, we're actually on the grounds of First Presbyterian Church, where there was a interfaith service held before the outdoor part of the service. And Allison is a member of that community, and you were Sixth Presbyterian, pardon me, Sixth Presbyterian Church, and you were sharing with me some of your thoughts and your feelings, so difficult to put into words, but if you would, how long have you lived in Squirrel Hill?
I live in Regent Square, which is right next door, but I grew up at this church. I was baptized here in my whole life, so it's just horrible to think that this is happening in our neighborhood.
Yeah, when you hear those words, the most deadly attack in U.S. history on the Jewish faith, does that even, I don't even know how you wrap your heart around that.
Well, it's horrible. It's so surreal just to see us on the news that this is such a gentle place. I mean, Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers' neighborhood went to our church. This was the neighborhood of that TV show, and to think that that in a place where you would love your neighbor, this would happen, it's just horrible.
It really is. There is a lot of wonderful sharing and gathering going on here. So let's talk a little bit about the service itself. What was your takeaway from the service? It was beautiful. You went to the indoor portion and then went to the outdoor portion as well.
I thought it was beautiful. Growing up, all of my friends were Jewish, and so I learned a lot of the Jewish prayers just kind of that way, but it was hearing everyone sing together, and even when we didn't know the words, it was just really something.
Forever changed, though.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable.
Thank you so much. You're such a wonderful spokesperson for the community. Thank you so much, Allison. Appreciate you being with us. Do you have any plans about reaching out to others tomorrow? I know that there is a larger service that is taking place that involves all of the synagogues tomorrow. Any plans on attending that?
I don't know all about that yet. I think I would like to, but I don't have all the information for that yet.
Where were you when you heard about this, if I could take you back to the moment that you heard earlier today that this had happened?
Oh, I was at home. I had gotten the news updates on your phone, and I had gotten it, and I kind of didn't think that it was real. And then we had family members in Philadelphia call and say, isn't this right near you? Isn't this happening? We're watching your neighborhood on the news. And then we've just been glued to the TV all day. It's just been surreal.
I had mentioned earlier in one of my reports that I actually was at services at St. Paul's Cathedral today when the racing of the police cars and the sirens were taking place, and the priest was inside just offering up prayers for those that had been killed nearby, and praying for those that had lost their lives. You know, synagogue services, church, is supposed to be a place of peace. Have you ever even given a second thought to being a...
Of course not. Of course not. We grew up going to bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs and all kinds of high holy day events, and even though it wasn't my religion, you're safe. You're safe where religion is an organization, at least in this area, where you express love for your community. There are a lot of service-based things, and you don't go in and think, oh, something terrible is going to happen like this.
Any thoughts and plans about what's next for the community here? Just any ideas about getting together with each other and just kind of reaching out and making sure that this part lasts, because this is the lasting legacy right here.
Right. Well, I've seen a lot of familiar faces walking through. I'm not exactly sure what steps we'll take, but definitely it won't be forgotten. We're gonna make things happen.
I was really, as a mother of 2 teenagers myself, to think about Taylor Alderdice High School students amassing people here. There was no less than 1,000 people here, and we saw it in Parkland, and now we're seeing it in Pittsburgh. That kids are the ones that have to make the change. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. If they have big enough voices, then that's great. Someone needs to listen to somebody, because things need to change.
And the persistence and the passion, too.
Yes.
Allison, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it. You're a lovely spokesperson. Thank you very, very much.
Of course.
Thank you. All right, so the crowd is starting to disperse a little bit here, and we have people that we would like to speak to kind of wrap up the evening and put things in perspective and look ahead to tomorrow and to the days and weeks ahead. There's a lot of lovely, thoughtful people here, and we are going to go ahead and send it back to you in the studio right now. Live in Squirrel Hill, Pam Surano, KDKA.
All right.